Ooh. Well done, Brandon. You've definitely improved your writing over the course of these few days. Has my advice been helpful to you? Yeah, definitely. I'm glad. Sharing our writing like this. It's a lot more fun and rewarding than I anticipated. I need to remember to thank Monica. I think we all felt a little awkward at first, but now it seems like everyone is enjoying their writing and seeing what others think. I guess I can't really disagree. I was afraid this whole thing would be a chore. But it's a great way for me to spend some personal time with all the girls in the club. Oh, that was a thought, sorry. But it's been fun getting to know everyone in the writing and getting to know other girls in the club, as this Brandon would say. And I guess doing some writing myself. Well, have you ever learned about anything about writing yourself, Brandon? Eh? Well, you know how I like to say that writing is a very personal way to get in touch with oneself. In the end, it doesn't matter if you're a good writer or a bad writer. And even my opinions are just opinions, you know? All the world's a stage, and we are all just players in it. Seriously, have you read Shakespeare, Yuri? As always, I believe what's most important is exploring and discovering yourself. That's comforting. I'm kind of afraid of disappointing you in some way or another. Eh? Why me? Well, you're always more sophisticated with all your writing and have the most advice to share. Is that so? Ooh. Yuri thinks for a good minute. That must be terrible. Eh? For me to have become someone whose opinion is fearsome. How unlikable of me. Yuri, it's not as bad as you're making it sound in your head. I just meant that I respect your opinion. I see. I'm sorry that I always overthink and come to those sorts of conclusions. I'm just a little too used to it. Overthinking? Yes, I overthink a lot. Being disliked. Well, Yuri. What? What am I saying? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up. Let's move on. All right. Do you want to share your poem now? Okay. Here. Beach. Oh, she has a beach one too. Oh, I don't recall that. All right. A marvel millions of years in the making, where the womb of Earth chaotically meets the surface, under clear blue sky an expanse of bliss, but beneath gray rolling clouds an endless enigma. The easiest world to get lost in is one where everything can be found. One can only build a sandcastle where the sand is wet, for where the sand is wet the tide comes. Will it gently lick at your foundations until you give in? Or will a sudden wave send you crashing down in the blink of an eye? Either way, the outcome is the same. Yet we still build sandcastles. I stand where the foam wraps around my ankles, where my toes squish into the sand. The salty air is therapeutic. The breeze is gentle, yet powerful. I sink my toes on the ultimate boundary line, tempted by the foamy tendrils. Turn back and I abandon my peace to erode at the shore. Drift forward and I return to earth forevermore. I do like this one too. I like both these about the beach, but I like Nasuki's more about the beach than this one. Although this one's good. I do like the language and everything of that. But the rhyme scheme of Nasuki's I like better. The fact that it has rhyme scheme, I think I like. So, alright. So, 3 poems I actually like. I'm aware the beach is kind of an inane thing to write about, but I did my best to take a metaphorical approach to it. Yeah, Nasuki already told me about it. She did? She didn't say anything weird, did she? She just wanted us to write about the same topic again. It's supposed to be better compare the differences in our writing styles or thought processes. Anyway, it was her idea. Knowing her, it's no surprise she liked to do something like that. She was saying it was your idea, Yuri. She probably just wants to show off. It's not like I have a particular interest in her writing style. I just went with a request. But, well, I suppose it's not so bad to write about something simple on occasion. It can be refreshing, you know? It's good for me to calm my thoughts once in a while. Okay, you 3. We're all done sharing poems, right? Why don't we start figuring out... Hold on a second. Is it just me or did you say something strange right now? Eh? Something did sound a bit unusual. I'm going to move this over here, because that way I can see Yuri. That's right. You deviated from your usual catchphrase when addressing the club. Catchphrase? I don't have a catchphrase. Jeez. Why is the mood so weird today? Look, even Yuri isn't immune to it. Ooh. Stagnating air is common foreshadowing that something terrible was about to happen. In your books, maybe. Look, the only thing that's different is Sayori isn't here. Ah, it seems you're right. Sigh. Sayori always helps lighten the mood a little bit, doesn't she? It's almost like everyone's balance is thrown off a little when she's not around. Where the heck did she run off to anyway? I thought she just went to pee. Nasuki, please show some decency. Oh, come on. She actually wasn't feeling too well and went home early. Is that so? I hope she's all right. Seriously? Of all the times not to go home with her, you picked the time she's not feeling well? So much for you two being all lovey-dovey. No. First of all, stop misunderstanding my friendship with Sayori. And second, she's kind of been avoiding me today, so I didn't want to force it. Ooh. That's a curious expression coming from Yuri, of all people. Calm down, guys. I talked with her earlier and everything is fine. What did she say? Anyway, we need to figure out the rest of the festival preparations. So, let's decide what everyone will be doing this weekend. Well, it doesn't matter what everyone's going to be doing this weekend, because I'm not going to that part yet. I'm going to switch back to the beginning of the first poem, so that way I can start going through Yuri and Asuki's roots. That way we can see what their story would lead up to. Then, I'm going to get to the portion with Sayori. That's just how I'm going to do it, because I want to get all the photos. All right, thank you. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. Looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Ah, crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and her eyes meet for a split second. Ooh. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I met her thus sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably would have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have two copies of the same book? Ah, well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday, that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy two of them. Ah, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear it. Once it starts to pick up, you may have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about, anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. All right. I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships, and her life starts to fall apart. That's kind of dark, isn't it? You made it sound like it's going to be a nice story, but that dark turn came from nowhere. Foreshadowing. Gary gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of this sort of thing, Brandon? No, it's not that. I just mean it's definitely enjoy those kind of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri's into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind's to be completely different in her mind. It's just this kind of stories. They challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not but just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in. Then suddenly you thought you related to the protagonist. They're made out to be... I'm screwing up all these lyrics and words. They're made out to be naive one for letting the one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? No, you're giving exposition, Yuri. Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's all right then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. Please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's just a literature club, after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago, you said you're looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I clearly retrieved the book that I put in my bag. All right, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip in the seat next to Yuri. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. All right. I open the book and start the prologue. As soon as I understand what Yuri means about reading in company, it's if I can see her presence over their shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracted, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not really looking at her own book. I glance over. Looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just... Yuri, you really don't have to apologize a lot. Or you really apologize a lot, do you? I do. I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this thing should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's and hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. Feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold open the book. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. And we got the first picture of Yuri. Good. Yuri takes her arm and holds the left side of her book between her thumb and forefinger. Ah, I do the same with my right arm and on the right side of the book. Wait, with the thumb and forefingers, that means they're doing this? Kind of? This? Or... I was trying to do that got him joke, and that doesn't work. I don't even understand the meme, honestly. I don't understand the Malcolm in the Middle thing. Never mind. That way I turn the page and Yuri slides on her thumb after it flips to the side, but holding it like this, we're huddled even closer than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. As if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Ah, sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. Glance over Yuri's face once again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. Ah, that's okay. You're not used to reading right. I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. Continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. That looks like just a bunch of lines to me, but alright. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a little silly thought, but this main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second-guesses all the things she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see in your head or anything, but they kind of reminisce of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment, but Brandon, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. Ooh, it's so embarrassing you think of that. Wait, I didn't mean it like that in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I didn't really know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. Ooh. I guess I meant that's more kind of cute. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone! Here comes Monica Schwarzenegger in order to stop the conversation. I think it's about time we shared each other's pose. You know, her eyes being psychotic right here underneath the thing, in a way. Kind of fit the situation very nicely. Yuri exhales, spare from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? That my eyes are very psychotic. Look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine. Release her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright, guess we'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little bit more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the 2 chapters in your own time. Alright, stand up. Make a mental note where I left off in the book and slip them back into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write the poem last night? Yeah, Monica, I did. Relaxation ends. Alright, we're going to skip through this. Zero reads the poem and notices her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. That's... I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Well, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. All I did was take a bunch of words that the game gave to me, and I put them all on a piece of paper, and just connected them together with a bunch of random dots. Huh? Yuri stares at me blank and looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. Did you? Did you, Yuri? Did you know that? You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Brandon. Sure you will, Yuri. Me too.